Hello everybody, welcome to a new series of Landric Plays. Today I am going to be playing some Stronghold from Firefly Studios. Stronghold is a classic castle sim game, and it's got quite a lot of RTS style elements in it. I say classic, it's a little bit old now, it's getting on a bit, but it's still a really fun game to play. I think the graphics still hold up relatively well, the voice acting is pretty superb, and this, like, gameplay wise and story wise, it's still really fun to play. I had a lot of fun playing this back in the day, and I'll still occasionally go back to it now and then, and I thought, hey, this time I'm going back to it, I would share it with you guys. So we are going to jump right into the military campaign, or it's not strictly the military campaign, it's sort of the main story campaign of the game, but there are also some standalone battle modes, there's a map editor, and there is a smaller sort of economic campaign where the missions are more about getting a certain set of resources before a certain time limit. So we're going to jump into the first story mission, Gathering the Lost, which means we are going to get a short cutscene sort of introducing us to the story of the game. So I'm going to keep quiet for a little bit. Here we go.
As soon as the king had marched his army into the barbarian homeland, rumors began of a plot to seize the throne. When news came of the king's capture, the country was invaded. Several nobles, including your father, sought to end the bloodshed, but on the way to meet for negotiations, their party was massacred by a band of unknown raiders. Bruised and exhausted, you have been beaten back to a forest on an overlooked peninsula, where a small group of loyal troops are hiding. Although the country is lost, maybe from this refuge, you can at least avenge your father's death.
I say we act now, and strike while the iron is hot.
No. The few men we have would be cut down like lambs to the slaughter. We need time to gather our forces.
Nonsense! I shall take 6 of my finest men into enemy territory by the cover of darkness, and...
No, just listen. Our men are close to starvation. This is what we must do.
The debate rages on well into the night, but eventually Lord Woolsack takes you to one side.
Sir Longarm tells me he knew your father well, which is why I'm giving you your chance to prove yourself. It is time you got your first taste of command.
Okay, there we go. There is an introduction to the story of Stronghold. The king has been captured in faraway lands, the country is in turmoil, and 4 nobles have tried to seize power. So we have the rat, who has taken these counties over here. We have the snake, who's taken these lands over here. The pig is in control of this area over here, and up here is the wolf's lair. And at some point we are going to try and reclaim these from these treacherous nobles and reconquer all of this in the name of the king. But right now, Sir Longarm, I always call him Sir Strongarm, I don't know why. Sir Longarm and Lord Woolsack and us, and a small band of loyalists are stuck here at the end of this peninsula. So we are going to build up a small base of operations over here. Let's see how we get on.
We need you to oversee the setting up of a good-sized base camp. Start by finding a suitable clearing, then use some of the wood plentiful in this area to begin your construction.
So this is the first mission, and it's quite an easy mission. Gather some food, gather some wood, and it's going to introduce us sort of to like some of the mechanics, some of the gameplay. So. And we can even get some hints on strategy if we want them, but that's fine, we won't bother with any of that, we're just going to jump straight into the game.
To site your castle, my liege.
And the first thing we have to do is build our keep, so this is going to be the centre of our stronghold, if you like. And it's quite a simple keep at the minute, just a little wooden hall, but that's fine, that's more than enough for now.
Site your granary, sire.
So the keep comes with this stockpile, which is where most of our resources go, but we also need to place a granary, which is where all the food is stockpiled. And we'll just put that next to the keep, because why not? So, peasants are going to show up. They are going to sit around this campfire. This little ring is going to sort of indicate when we're due our next peasant. There we go. Here he is. And we are going to put them to work. So the first thing we want them to do is collect some wood, because every building that we can build right now is built out of wood. So we're going to put one next to this cluster of trees.
There, my lord.
There we go. That cluster of trees. We're going to put one down here next to this cluster of trees. And you know what? We need quite a lot of wood, so I'll put one over here as well. And that should sort of minimise the travel time between the trees and the stockpile, because they have to chop down each tree a couple of times before they can start bringing it back over. We also want some food. That's right, we want some hunters. Now, there's no point putting the hunter's post next to these deer, because the deer will move. So we're just going to put those... we'll put them over here. We'll put one there, one there. Can we afford another? We can, so let's put down a third one there. So, just like the woodcutters, these hunters are going to go to their station. They've each got a little dog, and they are going to go out and hunt these different deer and bring that food back to the granary. There we go. So they're all going off this way. There's a group down here as well. So lumberjacks are cutting down these trees. Hunters are hunting the deer. Everything is ticking along lovelily. Lovelily? I don't know if that's a word. It is now. And there's not really a lot else for us to do at this stage. I mean, this is only the first mission. It's sort of very... It's easing us in gradually. All we have to do now is sit back and relax and take a look around our burgeoning village, if you like. One of the nice things we can do is if we click on say this hunter here.
No taxes is one thing, but what about a small gift?
So this is Seamus, however you say that.
A message from your scribe. Animal tracks have been reported in the area, sire.
Animal tracks in the area. Well, of course there are animal tracks in the area. There's deer running around all over the place. I'm sure that won't become a problem at all. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that's right. You can click on your individual people, and it tells you who they are, what they're doing, and you get like this little quote from them, which is all nicely voice acted. And this will change depending on what's actually going on in your castle. So currently we don't have any taxes on our people. We've just been sort of beaten back from a what's the word? A coup?
A message from your scribe. Scouts are reporting that packs of wolves are closing in on the castle. We must get the supplies stored.
Oh no! Those animal tracks weren't deer after all, they were wolves, so let's hurry and quickly get all these supplies in. But yeah, so we don't have any taxes because, you know, right now we're just barely trying to survive and not get eaten by wolves. But these messages will change based on what's going on, and I think that's just a very nice little touch. In fact, you can even click on these chickens here. So this is Clucky. Who have we got here? Whoop. Clucky and Clacky. Lovely. So our wood stockpile is growing.
Our granary stocks are growing,
So
sire.
is our granary. We can also set our people onto half rations, which will make our food last longer. It'll be easier to reach that victory condition. It will upset everyone though. So if the overall happiness rating, which is just here, gets too low, people will start leaving our castle, which is not what we want. But hopefully we should. There we go. We should win long before then.
Victory!
And there we go. So, victory screen. We get some points for completing the level. We get some bonus points for bringing extra meat and food. But there's no real point to any of this. It's just if you want to beat your previous best score. But this is fine. The important thing is we completed the level. We're going to go back and have a chat with Sir Longarm and Lord Woolsack, and I'm sure they're going to be very, very pleased with our progress. They're going to be really happy with what we've done here, right? Yeah, I'm sure that's how it's going to go.
Whilst the men frantically ferry precious supplies into the granary, Sir Longarm and Lord Woolsack ride into the camp.
Job well done. Not too bad for your first attempt.
No! The fool has pitched camp in the middle of the wolves' migration track.
Good. It will give the men some well-needed practice before we make our strike.
Poof! Now I have no choice but to send out a scout to find a more permanent position.
Okay, so Sir Longarm is very much a bro. He has our back. He also sounds quite drunk, but I'm sure that's unrelated. But Lord Woolsack has pointed out that yeah, we may have picked a terrible place to make camp. So even though we now control this territory, we're going to have to do something about that wolf problem. So let's move on to the next mission, because that first one was quite short. And yeah, we'll take a look. So our second mission is finishing that fort.
Day by day, the camp becomes more overwhelmed by the wolves, and their persistent howling robs the men of sleep. The situation is about to get out of hand when Lord Woolsack's scout returns. Soon afterwards, you are summoned into the command tent.
Sir Longarm has convinced me to give you another chance. We have found the remains of an abandoned stockade.
Wolves plague this county every winter, so we need you to get the stockade back up to scratch quickly.
Failure is not an option this time. Just keep your eyes peeled.
To ensure the safety of your men, you are required to renovate the abandoned stockade before winter is upon us again. Use your archers to kill off any wolves that threaten your peasants.
Okay, so we've been given another chance, even though we apparently screwed up last time. But that's fine. We're going to build a much stronger stockade this time that will keep us safe from any prowling wolves. And we've got to gather 35 meat before winter, so that will last us
Cite
through.
your granary, sire.
So this time we've started off with our keep already placed and half a wall already in place. But we do need to place our granary, and I'll put that inside the wall next to the keep. And then, yeah, we want to get started on some woodcutters. So we could place these inside the walls as well to keep people safe. But again, to try and minimise the amount of travel time our woodcutters have got to do, I'm going to actually put them outside the walls next to these trees. So we'll put one there and one there. And you know what? I will put one here as well. The hunter's post, though, that can go right next to the granary.
Can't place that there, my
you go.
lord.
On top of the hill, because they're going to need to bring it back to the granary anyway, so yeah, that's fine. So I don't have quite enough wood to put down another one, but that's probably fine. It might have made more sense to maybe scale back on the lumberjacks, but we are going to need those to finish off this wall, so we've got to build this palisade right the way around here. So we do start with some archers over here, who are currently guarding this gatehouse, even though there's a whacking great hole here. But they will hopefully keep us safe from any wolves. There are some... Ooh! There are a lot of wolves up there. So if I'm going to press space, and that will flatten the terrain a bit, so we can get a nice overview of the lie of the land, if you like. And yeah, there's a lot of wolves up here, and it looks like there is just about a wolf-sized path that they could sort of get around this way and come and cause some real trouble for our villagers. So it's a good thing we've got these archers positioned here, because they should be able to pick them off as they come down from this mountain. So we do want to keep gathering food and wood. Have we? Nope, not got any wood shipments yet. But it's all right. They'll be along shortly. We can also, if we click on the Lord here, which is us, we can't move him around generally, but we can order him to attack enemies, which includes wolves. So we could, in theory, send him all the way up here to go and wipe out these wolves, but he is pretty good. He's got some very shiny armour and a very shiny sword, but I still don't fancy his chances against all of these wolves at once. So I think we'll just leave them to stay up there. If they come down, then our archers will sort them out. But the Lord is sort of our last line of defence. If he falls, game over. Right, so we've got some wood deliveries in, so I'm going to quickly build actually I think another pair of these. We do need some wood left over to finish this, but now we've got 3 hunters posts. We're going to be raking in the food, and now I can focus on building our walls. So we're going to go from here down to here, like that, and then bring this over here. So tiny little gap there now. So less for our archers to defend. In fact, there we go. Probably enough to finish it off right there. So if we just drop everything down a little bit, makes it easier to see that that's complete. We can just check our objectives. Ooh, it's not complete. So somewhere I've left a gap. Where have I left a gap? Or is it just... Oh no, it just took a little while to compute that yes, it's definitely secure. So the castle is complete. We're well on our way to gathering enough food. Hopefully these wolves are going to stay nice and peaceful, just chilling out up here in the sunshine. And if not, I'm sure our archers will be up to handling it. So if the wolves do come down here, our woodcutters are armed with dirty grey axes as well, so they should be able to handle themselves. But it's a good thing we've got our archers looking out for them. It would be nice if we could station some archers a bit closer over to here, just so they've got more chance of dealing with them. But unfortunately this wall is a bit too pointy to put somebody on top of. Later on we'll get little towers and turrets and nice stone crenellations that we can station people behind, but for now this rough palisade is going to have to do. You know what,
Our granary stocks are growing, sire.
I'm going to drop us down to half rations as well, just to keep some of that food around a little bit longer. We've got plenty of happiness, so it can drop all the way down to I think about 50 before people start leaving. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that, but it should be fine. See how our woodcutters do.
Half rations? I don't like that.
Well, it's alright. We don't have to worry about half rations because we have achieved victory.
We are victorious, sire.
Yes, we are. So again, we get some points. We get a little bonus for not losing anyone to the wolves. Luckily, they did stay nice and relaxed on top of that hill. I think if we'd have left it for too long, then they would have started coming down the side of the mountain and harassing our villagers. But luckily, we managed to secure the castle and build up a stockpile of food before they even got up. That's how early in the morning we get up.
Well, at least you can complete half a task.
Job well done. Now, our men are secure, and we can send a hunting party into the next county to eradicate the wolves for good.
I suppose it must be done, but we have to proceed with caution, as that county is close to the enemy's border.
Okay, so we've completed the first two missions, and we're now so we've built up our stronghold on the tip of this peninsula, and we are now ever so slowly moving our way out. So we're going to secure more land, we're going to build up our forces, and then we are going to take the fight to all of these guys. But not quite yet. That's going to have to wait. First we have to defeat the wolves, and that is going to have to wait until the next episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the start to this series, and I certainly hope you enjoy the rest of the series. So, I will see you then.